Hello to all you wonderful people watching this live stream this evening at your own home, your couch, your sofa, your bed. I hope you're all doing amazing, keeping safe, being positive, having just good vibes and good energy all around. My name is Khai and this is RUMAHfest Online. Rumah means home in the Malay language, and Rumah aims to platform, to highlight the various Asian artists from the various Asian diasporas based in London. Rumah wants to encourage collaboration and integration amongst various Asian artists because there's something powerful when we're in solidarity. Tonight, RUMAHfest is featuring artists from the various genres, super fresh collabs and new works adapted on a digital platform. So, get comfy, take all that you need with you and enjoy the show. But before we start, I would first like to reiterate our kindness policy, which you can also read at our program booklet on the description box below. Please remember that this is an online, braver space for all of us to congregate and inspire one another. We're building a community, so we do not tolerate sexism, racism, homophobia, ageism, or classism. We're so excited to show you what we've come up with during this period of change and reflection. So I do hope you respect the online space and the comment box and the live chats. So first up, we have Nicole Choi from That's So Nicole with her embroidery tutorial. So I hope you've got your photos ready, your scissors, your embroidery threads, your pen and pencil, and you're ready to go. So take it away, Nicole.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Choi and I'm an embroidery artist and graphic designer based in London. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create empowering imagery representing allyship with the women in your life. You can use images that, of women that are in your life who you really admire. You can use images of people in magazines that you really found inspirational for you somehow. It doesn't really matter, the choice is yours. And we're going to use hand embroidery to create really uplifting imagery and really colorful, really powerful, really bold and bright creations. And hopefully you'll be able to continue after this really short and brief workshop. These are what you'll need for the upcoming workshop, alongside just a Sharpie pen or a regular pen or pencil to outline before we actually start the embroidery. But the most important materials are obviously your image. I've chosen an Evening Standard front page because Michelle Obama is on it, and I want to use this as sort of my canvas to sew on because she, to me, is a really powerful and really important and really inspiring woman that's been in my life. Just being present in the media has already been so significant, especially for ambitious girls like me growing up. This is embroidery thread. It's really different from sewing machine thread. So as you can see, it's a little thicker. So if you end up using sewing machine thread, you're going to have to layer them, layer 3 sort of threads together in order to thread through the needle, which leads me to my next point, which is basically the fact that you need a needle, and you're going to thread half of this into the eye of the needle before you start anything, so make sure you do that. I like to get them pre-threaded, so before I start anything I choose the colors that I use. Today I'm going to be choosing red. Sorry, that's not red. I'm going to be choosing red and maybe this orange, and just bring out, I don't know, this blue as well. Have that here. Oh, actually, this purple looks really nice, so I'm going to use that. and another purple because purple represents democracy to me. So yeah. So basically what you need to do is you'll need to cut a small piece of thread like so, and you're going to have to split it in half. So each of them come with like six threads, and all you need to do is like split it. Otherwise it'll be too thick to go through the needle, which is what I'll show you next. So as you can see, I am currently drawing a line outlining Michelle just to emphasize her presence, and I'm going to sew on top of these lines. I'm also going to add some dashes around to bring her voice, I don't know, amplify her voice and make it look really powerful and strong. And it doesn't matter if these lines go over the text or the things surrounding it, because you should be as expressive as possible, so fear not. Okay, so I'm about to go in with the stitch, and make sure you have the knot tied in the back of the thread, double knots if you're working on paper, as you can see. So whilst, like I said before, go over the lines and simply follow them using a straight line technique. As you can see on the video, a straight line technique is simply sewing in a line. And you can, the beauty of paper is you can go as far as you want with the lines, or as tighten it to each other from where you first start to put your needle in to where you next, you know, punch a hole in and stuff. And it's really simple, so just follow that. Once you have ended your thread, sew it to the back of the sheet, basically behind the image, and tie a knot. Okay, so here's an update on where I'm at so far, and it's barely finished, but what I'm going to do is actually cut the page out because it's just so hard to work on, and I find it much easier to work on a single page after doing this. I really wanted to keep it, but I think this might be for the best. So what I'm going to do is actually use the cutting board and put it behind this front cover so that it doesn't affect the other pages, and cut through the spine and the top line of the page where it says fiasco, where the header is basically. So yeah, I'm gonna use a box cutter because it's much easier and more accurate to cut straight lines with a ruler using that, as opposed to the scissors that I had before. So now I'm continuing my sewing process, and I have threaded my needle. I usually cut about 20 to 25 centimeters per piece of thread, which, if that helps anybody, is a good indicator of being able to sew something without losing or tying too many knots in the midst of threading and sewing, which can be really frustrating. So here is me continuing to do that, and just following the lines as if you were coloring in between, like say a color book. Treat it like that. You know, sewing can often be something that is seen as quite technical, but as you can see in this form of art, I treat it as something more artistic, as a way to express creativity. So this hopefully is a good guideline to help you start, kickstart your own journey into completing this, and maybe, you know, exploring it further. You can also check out my Instagram at That's So Nicole if you need any inspiration for any of your works. I know it can be really difficult without a visual aid, so feel free to do that. So I know a lot of you are beginners and have no clue what embroidery art is, so I am expecting you to probably make a few holes and tear the paper a little bit. So what you can do to actually amend them without having to throw away your piece is to simply sew on top of it repeatedly in the same straight line format that you've been doing up until that point, and that will help cover up the tear, and you'll be able to continue on happy as usual, and who knows, even make a new pattern or print, and it could be a happy accident. So I've just added a few more tweaks. I actually drew on these words respect, equal, value, but I'm not really gonna embroider on top of that because I know it's going to create a lot of holes. It's going to be really messy, so I'm going to leave it as it is and instead go over the lines. So yeah, just wanted to point that out before moving on with this tutorial. Basically what I'm doing is continuing using a canary yellow, sewing through the lines like I said before, like I was doing before, and I'm not sewing on top of the words because they're too complicated, and honestly, they look good on their own. Go for stripes, go for zigzags, go for, don't be afraid to mess them about. Like I said before, this is a tutorial for creative expression and to do your own thing, and it's a great opportunity to create empowering imagery, showing your allyship with the women in your life, the women you love, the women you respect, the women that inspire you. So here is the final piece. I've simply followed the lines and added a few extra bits and bobs, just as you can see from the time lapse before, going a bit off the original penned sort of pattern that I did, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. I love that it says respect, equal, and value over here. Just small words of positivity and power, and Michelle Obama is obviously a force to be reckoned with and an incredible woman. So I hope this tutorial has helped inspire you to continue your way and yeah, maybe finish a piece. Thank you so much for joining me here at RUMAH Khai doing this workshop. I hope you've been inspired to continue. If you want to follow me, check me out on Instagram at That's So Nicole, or Twitter with the same handle. If you want to see my body of work, just go on my website, nicoleemmapearlchoi.com. And yeah, see you soon.
Welcome to Comedians. I'm Bruce, your host. We get a prompt via social media, and we use that to inspire some casual conversation, and that becomes the basis of lots of improvised scenes. And it's all scored by our lovely musician, the Mollister mentioned. Hit them keys, pal. Let's introduce our improvisers. Yeah. Kelsey Uhara, show yourself. Give a wave. Tulasi Das, where are you at? There she is. And Yanis Cove, what's your action?
Finger guns.
Also finger guns. Are we all doing finger guns today? Guys, a prompt. It's on Facebook from Siddharth Venkatesh, and they've asked us, what's the coolest thing about being a Londoner?
Well, what is a Londoner? I think this is the coolest thing, because you know what? Like, I wanted to come here, like I chose to move here, and I actually think that London does not belong to the UK. It belongs to the world. London is for the world. It is actually not England. It is the world. So
Well, maybe that's the coolest thing about it, is that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It does have everyone, and it is welcoming to everyone to an extent, but.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love that. Like, I spent most of the pandemic in Holland, which is just very white and segregated, and then being back in London is like, oh wow, there's more colours than one. Great.
Okay.
with that, let us begin. Oh gosh, I'm kind of nervous, aren't you, for everyone to arrive?
I know. It'll be great though.
Can it be good?
Sorry I'm late, guys. I got caught in traffic and it was all raining. I'm here now.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Come on in.
So I just burst through your door and you left it open. It was really unsafe.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I must have forgot to close the door as well.
You're going to want to help me bring in the food.
You know, I got excited. We're meeting our friends after a while. And
Hey, Harry, it is a little weird that you didn't help Ferdinand out with the food.
Okay, point taken.
Sorry.
No, go on. You clearly have something to say.
Is it as weird as forgetting everything? Mariangela?
Sorry. It's just, I mean, you know, it's been a stressful time for me. Therese just jumps on me about everything.
You're talking about me, right? Because we always have this. Me and Harry always have this confusion.
I mean, honestly, it's really confusing to keep you two apart because, like, you're both called Harry and Therese.
Yeah.
I've been trying to call my flatmate Therese to keep her apart from you, Harry. Like, and I'm calling you Harry. I'm preferring that because it's a bit of a mix-up. I'm just gonna call you Harry from now on, and my flatmate Therese. I know technically you have both names. But
fine. I mean,
I have a hard time when you're both in the same room.
Our parents named us something for a reason.
I know, the whole identical twin thing. It's kind of weird, but like at this point in life, you know, I know you're identical twins.
Gosh.
I know you have two
forgetful
names.
Mariangela. We have to constantly remind you that we share the same name.
I'm the only one really confused here. You both got the same name. You both look the same, and you know. Harry, Therese, we're a couple, so like, what am I supposed to do here?
I live with I live with Therese. Okay, I'm gonna call you Therese. Okay, is that all right, Therese?
Are you speaking to her or me? Who are you speaking to?
I'm speaking to my flatmate, Harry Therese. But I'm just gonna call for tonight. Can I just call you Therese?
Mariangela, this is exactly what you always do. You're an American, and you press your oppressive values on the rest of the world.
This isn't what London's about. London's an accepting place of all kinds of backgrounds.
But you shouldn't be hanging your flag outside here. It's not right in the garden. In your tiny London garden that you've got at the front here.
I support flags of all kinds. Yes. We have the American one there because I'm American. Yes, we have the British flag because of Harry Therese. Yes, we have the NHS. Yes, we have Black Lives Matter. Look, I just really like flags, okay? And I have no problem with everybody knowing everything that I support.
What's your favorite flag?
Ooh. I don't know if I can pick. I really like them. I like them all. The fabric, the feel. The colors.
Am I spotting flag napkins?
Is this why you didn't get linen?
I just thought like plain white was a little boring.
Okay. Ferdinand, can I speak with you in the bathroom for a second?
I'd love to.
Ferdinand. Like, Harry Therese invited us round because we were finally going to confront Mariangela about her flag obsession.
Listen, I'm sorry about not getting the linen napkins, but don't you think these flags are way more interesting?
Why would flags be interesting? I'm not a vexillologist.
I am not sure what that means. I feel like you're always trying to use big words around me that is supposed to distract from what's really going on, which is that the flags are cool.
Flags?
And you are being narrow-minded.
I'm being narrow-minded.
Yes.
At least I can appreciate more than just one type of decoration. Look at this! Look at this! The blanket is a flag. The posters, the wallpaper is flags, Mariangela. You can't have flags as your personality. Like, you need to become a more well-rounded person. You can't just go around saying flags to people and then expecting them to consider you a fully formed human being.
I'm really trying to adopt a global mentality here, you know?
Mariangela,
like, we have all the flags here, all kinds of flags.
Tell me one other thing about you. I've lived with you for 6 years. I only know that you like flags.
I also speak 12 languages.
We need to do something about these flags.
Yes. That's why you came. Why would you not say anything during the entire dinner, Ferdinand?
I tried. Did you not hear me bring up the napkins?
What did you say? I don't remember.
I said, look, are these flag napkins? Am I spotting flag napkins? Am I spotting flag napkins? What? How much more obvious can I be than that?
Okay, since no one else is going to do it, they're off drinking coffee, I've got to tell you this now. Your flag obsession has gotten out of hand. I've actually prepared some notes to read to you.
Listen, Harry, Therese, I mean, we're hanging out because, you know, you're my flatmate's twin. But, I mean, I don't make any assumptions that you're like the same person. You know? Which is why I gave her the Djibouti flag and I gave you the Lithuania flag.
I want to support my twin and support her in interrogating and ambushing you with your obsession with flags, but no one ever sees me as an individual, not even Ferdinand. I'm just an extension of him. Thank you, Mariangela. Is that what you were named after?
No, it's a really odd coincidence, but I have nothing to do with Maya Angelou. It just sounds vaguely similar, but we're not the same.
And hey, you know what? You're spouting words of wisdom just like she does.
Harry, Therese, I see you.
Well, if no one else is going to do it, then I'm going to do it. Look, I've got a giant banner in the shape of a flag to say, we hate your obsession with flags.
Oh, I love this flag, guys. It's so nice.
Oh,
I love it. Thank you. That's so thoughtful.
No, it says, look, it says no flags and it's got a cross through it.
Yeah, but you've made me a custom flag. That's so sweet.
I've got something to say to you, Ferdinand, and Harry, Therese. Me and Mariangela had a really good chat, and she sees me, man. Okay, and I don't think it's fair that we're doing this flag intervention anymore. I don't, because she's got her own thing, and that's her thing, you know. And I got my own thing. I'm seen as my own one individual thing, and Ferdinand, you guys can be your own individual things too.
No, this sounds like individualism, which is suspiciously a movement that started in the United States of America.
You know,
I'm feeling attacked
right now. You've really gotten into your politics and economics recently. This intervention hasn't gone how I thought it would go. Hey, at least we still have half a hog roast from our dinner 2 months ago.
And it's gone cold.
Harry, Therese. MC. So sad, guys. Thanks to RUMAHfest for hosting us. Khairiyah, I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for inviting us today. That was really fun. I hope you guys all had fun too. Kelsey, Yanis, previously, thanks for joining. We are Comediations. Find us on Twitter and Instagram as @Comediations everywhere. And have I forgotten anything else? No? Well then, goodbye.
Thank you, Nicole, Troy, and Comediations! And shout out to Bruce Tang, Kelsey Uhara, Yanis Kov, and Tulasi Das. Thank you so much for doing this improv skit for RUMAHfest. I know it's not easy when you're not on a physical space, so thank you for doing this. So we're going to take a short interval break right now, and I know if it's an interval break, we're normally out taking a bathroom break, taking a cigarette, taking a drink, but this time I've got my friends from Nasi Bungkus London who's going to teach you a simple interval drink that you can make at your own home. This drink / dessert is my favorite thing on earth, which is called chendol. Now, chendol is a coconut milk based dessert topped with a kind of like a pudding base, which is so bright green, and it's sweetened with palm sugar, which is commonly found in Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore.
Hi, I'm Bob.
And I'm Alia. We're from Nasi Bungkus London. We've been doing this Nasi Bungkus London for the past 3 years. Follow our IG Nasi Bungkus London and our Facebook page Nasi Bungkus London.
Today we will make chendol.
And the ingredient that we need
Yes.
is only 3.
3, 4. Little
Four.
bit salt and
What's the salt? Salt,
flour,
flour,
rice flour and potato,
potato flour,
and then water. And then pandan flavor. Everything inside.
So you pour the water first,
And then the flour
flour,
all in.
and the color. I mean the flavor, the pandan flavor. The pandan flavor is already green.
This yeah.
Kind of basket, I don't know what you call it, and a bucket of ice. And this is specially for chendol. So how you do it, you press it down. See, it will come out like that. The reason why you need ice is the minute it drop down into the ice, it will stay the shape.
Here we go. This is our chendol.
Homemade chendol.
Yeah. Ta-da! The ingredient what we need, we got 5 ingredients. We got chendol and plum sugar and evaporated milk, coconut milk, ice cube, and straw, and nice cup. What?
So 6, not 5.
Yeah, and then
So first,
we pour the chendol in the cup, and then plum sugar is depend to you
how sweet you want.
how sweet you want. I'm already sweet, so I'm not use it too much. And then you put the coconut milk first. Coconut milk. Ta-da. If you like more kick, put some little salt inside. Just little.
Yeah, you can put.
If you
That's a
don't.
choice.
Yeah. And then evaporated milk. Yummy. And then ice cube. Some people they put red bean or sweet corn, but I like this.
This is the original.
Yeah.
You can even put ice cream if you want.
Yeah, ice cream, or back home they used to put glutinous rice. Wow, they call it chendol pulut. We made it already. We mix everything ready. Now, stir nicely.
You can enjoy your chendol. It's very easy to make at home.
Yeah, and low cost. Ta-da! Mix it nicely. 1, 2, 3. Bismillah first. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Welcome back, everyone. So our next segment is called Main, which means playing in the Malay language. This whole segment concept is basically to allow artists to play something that we neglect or forgot during the process of making. So right now I'm delighted to be presenting 2 new works that has been adapted on a digital platform for RUMAHfest Online. Now, like any other new works, the artists would really appreciate if you give them feedback so that they could develop their work further. So, without further ado, I would like to present to you Sexy Asians in Your Area Dying to Meet You by Camellia Anwar and Zelda Solomon.
In this fairy tale setting, the privilege to find comfort in Japan's ultimate symbol of perfection, the geisha. She's a dancer, a singer, artist, confidant, but most of all, magician. She conjures a fantasy world as secretive as it is exclusive. Among the few Westerners to penetrate her mysterious facade,
AD が履いてるやつかもしれない。
さあパリッと。
どうだ。
どうですか。
食べてない。
美味しい。
お。
お。
口開けてください。どうですか。
パリッと。
どうですか。すげえ力なんじゃない。侮辱的なこと待て。カレンダーを選び、これは普通のカレンダーだ。あとはハンガーをチョイス。これは普通のハンガーだ。すごい絵だよこれも。来た。どうですか。いや、硬そうだよ。こんくらい。
Yeah. Okay.
はい、どうぞ。はい、どうですか。いいよ、どうぞ。で、設楽さん、これ本当にだるまです。本当だ。違うそれ。なんと、これ僕のおやつなんですよ。どうしたな。
Kumiko-san's gonna be so angry at us.
That is thick with 2 C's.
This is my new technique. It's from ancient Japan. And this technique I got from ancient Japan. My buddy. I'm Buddy and I'm the boss. Look, listen. It doesn't look good yet, but why doesn't it look, why is it flying on you though? Maybe I've got like More submissive skin.
Ah, submissive skin.
Hi, I'm Camilla. I'm here to play to audition for the part of myself playing Philippa Sue playing Eliza in Hamilton. This is the dress, right? Yeah. It's just a bit small. Okay, now I'm ready.
Hey, it's Camilla. I just sat down to edit this and basically, sorry, I forgot about the copyright stuff and we can't actually play you the song without fat lawsuit from Lin-Manuel Miranda. So yeah, you'll have to sing along or maybe play it alongside it or something. Pretend it's me singing it. Yeah, I actually didn't get the part, which is, massive bummer. He said I wasn't really what he was looking for. That he was going to go in a different direction. I think he said something about being a bit too modern or something, which is like so fair enough because BAME is the future. I think I kind of look fit when I sing. It's kind of a bit embarrassing actually. Maybe I didn't get the part because I was too fit. They say you can be too fit for certain parts, I think. He said that they never had an Asian in before, which was really exciting because of like diversity and stuff. Which is, I guess that is exciting. But he didn't want anything serious, ultimately. Which is just so fine, because I love having fun. And it was fun. It was a really rewarding experience. And actually one of the panel was a quarter Indian, I think, so it wasn't even all white. The girl who got the part actually looks really nice. Like, really, really nice. And really pretty. And I'm sure she's going to be really, really good. And actually blonde hair suits that dress so much better. So... Oh, this is so cringy. Let's just fast forward it a bit. When I wear sunglasses, do I still look Asian? Like, I don't know, I feel like my nose and mouth on a white person would still look white. And Jennifer Lawrence has like hooded eyes. I look in the mirror and I use my hands to cover parts of my face and I wonder what part of me it inhabits. I want to know where it is so I know how to show it and how to hide it and hopes he likes it. Next time, though. Yeah, next time.
Tonight, they eat steak, not sushi, and drink French wine instead of sake.
No, it started in the wet markets. No, a guy ate a bat that had eaten by an armadillo. No, a guy
I just don't understand why we have to wear masks.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but like, I just they're literally all over the city. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. There's so many of them.
In a world where the past is revered, the geisha will never be outdated. In her illusory haven, beauty and innocence play happily together, and perfection is achieved by grace and respect. So long as pleasure is sought in fantasy, the geisha will survive. She's a dancer, a singer, artist, confidant, but most of all, magician. She conjures a fantasy world as secretive as it is exclusive.
Now, audience, over to you. There is a link on the description box below. Click on the feedback form, open it on to another browser, and start answering the 3 questions. Don't worry, don't feel obligated if you don't feel like doing it. Take this 2 minutes, take a stretch, drink your chendol, finish up your embroidery project, and I'll see you in a bit. Get the timer clock now.
Yes, Andakara Kundu Muriyala Randum Uira Tedi Payadu Kuttu Chandai Thoda Nipat Podum Muttu Chandai Enoda Nipoda Vendum Tanima Tholuthi Yozhil Nanum Manasu Thirundu Enna Kaapaathu தேடி கட்டுன போறேன் தாவி ஒட்டுன போறேன் தாலி கட்டிக்க போறேன் அம்மா மோதி மச்சிக்க போறேன் பாதி பிச்சுக்க போறேன் பாவி வச்சுக்க போறேன் அம்மா गोरी तेरा गाँव बड़ा प्यारा लटकया मारा आके यहाँ रे उस पर रूप तेरा सादा चंद्रमा जो आधा जवारे आधा जवारे எதிராளனே அழகாளனே உன வந்த ஒரு சாம ஒதுங்கிய நடந்தேன் எது மோதினான் எடமாடினேன் தடமாறி முழிச்சான ஒன்னுக்குள்ள கிடந்தேன் கண் கட்டி வித்து காட்டி என்னைய போ கட்டி போட்ட நான் என்ன இறுதி நீ அது வெக்க மட்டும் கிழிச்சு போட்டு தேடி 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 கடனம் போறேன்.
Alright everyone, I hope I still have you online. We got our next act by Barton Williams and Muhammad Faisal Abdullah. Funnily enough, these two artists first met during one of RUMAH's first Networking for Introverts event, and they decided to work together and created this new work called Precious Cargo. Take a look.
Oh, hi! Didn't see you there. I just received this box in the mail. I wonder what's inside it. Shall we open it together? It's a storybook. But what are you? By Barton Williams. Shall we read it together? Hi, my name is Gung. I was born in Vietnam during a war. My mum and dad left me during the war, so I was sent to Australia as an orphan. Soldiers put me in a cardboard box so I could travel safely. Hundreds of other babies were put into cardboard boxes and loaded onto planes. Why is it that everyone expects me to do martial arts? I remember on several occasions someone teasing me for the shape of my eyes, which often led to confusion and plenty of cries. But Mum, Dad and my brother stood by my side, making me believe in myself and not wanting to hide. Sure, I was pretty much the only Asian kid at school, but I could run real fast and wasn't a fool. Just trying to fit in and belong with the rest. Saw me befriend a kid called Zach who was simply the best. He and his family were blonde, blue-eyed and stereotypically Australian as can be, which soon cemented a look and image for me. You see, from the moment I landed in Australia, I felt inadequate and a failure. I was a baby of about 3 years of age, very malnourished and not at a walking stage. It was the largest humanitarian adoption program on earth. But Vietnam was at war since my birth. Operation Baby Lift was the name of the mass adoption, where getting kids out of Vietnam safely was the only option. 361 children sent from Vietnam to the land down under, leaving their home country and making others wonder. Growing up looking nothing like Mum and Dad took me time to adjust, but it was my mates at school that I wanted to earn their trust. You see, I went to a primary school with very few ethnic races. That was great, but didn't show me a range of faces. I only ever had 3 Asian friends in my entire school life, which probably explains why I never courted an Asian wife. Yes, maybe I am slightly racist in mind, but truth be known, I was always kind. You see, being one of the smallest in the school, you soon learn to avoid violence and being a fool. Now, if one doesn't learn to be racist at home, do not fear. Send your child to school. It will soon come clear. Slanty-eyed chink, slap ahead, nip, ching chong, gook. Are just a start. Derogatory terms you get called, separating us apart. Most of the words, you haven't a clue of what they mean, but their body language and tone makes for a horrible scene. So name-calling and derogatory words is just part of the act. Then comes racial stereotyping and put-downs, barely leaving you intact. Oh, you have maths problems to solve. Leave it to the Asian. Or, sorry, I thought you were Malaysian. Hey, don't mess with me. My mate knows martial arts. Wrong? Don't look at me. My biggest danger are my farts. I remember at kindergarten, a boy snatched a toy from me. Give it here, China boy. What are you? I did not understand. Don't worry, Gung. You're a good person and we love you, Mum would say. You see, at high school there was far more ethnic diversity, which was a pleasant change right up to university. I guess when I look back at it all, I was a little perplexed and somewhat a fool. Part of me was not accepting my past culture, for the foreign food and language made me feel like a vulture. I don't know why, but I felt a little ashamed of the person I saw in the mirror. Maybe because I stood out and it made me feel queer. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a young Asian man, which frustrated me because I was a James Bond fan. I mean, other than Mr. Miyagi, David Suzuki and Bruce Lee, there weren't too many role models I wanted to be. Now, it wasn't until much later in my high school years that a chance meeting with a life best friend would help with my fears. Sally was her name, beautiful and cocky as can be. I remember her distinctly, bailing me up and me wanting to flee. "Hey, Williams, that's not a very Asian name," she bellowed from above. She was bold and confronting, but I could not hold back my love. Turns out, Sally was adopted just like me, except she was much younger than 3. What an amazing story that Sally had too. Fled Vietnam through adoption, then grew up in Adelaide and went to my school as an option. Adopted to a great family too. We shared a high school friendship that flew. What I had found was a true friend that could relate, that knew what I was going through but still be a mate. With broad Aussie accents and no Vietnamese surnames in sight. It wasn't until 22 years later that a promise was held. "We're going to Vietnam," I proudly yelled. But history never really escapes us, and I was warned from the start that despite looking like a local, they could tell us apart. The Vietnamese people are a beautiful race who ride scooters gallantly and live life at pace. But like so many countries of the world, they've experienced the pain of war that leaves irreparable damage at the centre of their core. You see, Sally and I had escaped the war and country for the land down under, where leaving your home country could be viewed as a blunder. Visiting the orphanage where Sally and I stayed was both confronting and necessary, but a memory that won't fade. It's kind of weird how in Vietnam I walked the streets blending in, yet unable to communicate to anybody, let alone a next of kin. Yes, I am Asian. I'm all grown up and trying to contribute to society. I'm educated, got family and friends, even got a stable job, but something is missing. I can't quite grasp exactly what it is, but all I know is that I don't always fit in. I'm guessing that most adults experience this at times. Where do I belong? Are these people my kind of people? Am I on the same page as these people? So naturally, when you're in doubt of something, you turn to the people closest to you, your family, your friends. But then there's the doubting of not knowing, especially when it comes to family and social outings. You just learn to roll with the punches. You cannot blame anyone, it's just the way it is. You get used to just standing there with a neutral look, trying like hell not to show any emotion. Truth be known, you haven't a clue what your parents look like, what their names are, where they live, or are they even alive. You shrug it off like you have your whole life. You've accepted that you'll never know and that you're cool with not knowing, when really deep down, you'd love to know, just a little bit, however small it may be. Then there's the whole being recognised. You walk the streets as an adult and get used to the opposite sex or the same sex that just have it in for you, just because you look Asian. Then you reflect on your childhood and say to yourself, you're Australian. Don't worry what people think. Just as you convince yourself that yes, all is good, I am Australian and have nothing to worry about. Some little kid yells out, look at the Chinaman staring at me. Quickly, you look the other way for fear of being seen by the child, whilst the mother, if a decent mother, corrects her child not to be so rude. Please, don't call me Ching Chong. It's only now as an adult that I reflect and take it in, that reacting aggressively to someone giving you shit is an unfair sin. Yes, it's not fair that someone makes judgment, often in a nasty way, but sometimes we simply have to rise above it in order for it to go astray. You see, sometimes it's a genuine mistake that has someone wonder. Therefore, it's vital that we talk it out and don't make it a blunder. From kindy, primary school, high school and university, I developed some skills and had very little adversity. But the greatest challenge of all has come from within my head. The need to know answers and insecurities I must shed. I could have been sent anywhere, to any family that applied for Operation Baby Lift, but instead I was delivered to the Williamses to be their newborn gift. Now, one has to understand, Australia has its fair share of problems with race. Early British settlement that nearly wiped out the indigenous population, leaving no trace. Like all events, there's more to the story, rather than people boasting in all their cheer and glory. The Vietnam War has brought many opposing views, but the violence and unnecessary death was in the news. Thousands of new migrants flocking to Australian shores, doing their very best to not get caught up in the atrocities of wars. Yes, indeed, precious cargo like no other. A special delivery from one mother to another. One day, I was at the shop with my brother, Michael, when 3 boys stopped me. Hey you! What are you? Go away! They shouted. I did not understand. He's my brother, now go away, replied Michael. He's your brother? He looks nothing like you. Scram jam before I get angry, shouted Michael. The boys quickly left. Michael, what am I? You're Gung. You're a good person and we love you, Michael replied. I have never forgotten that day at the shop. But what am I? I'm Gung. I'm a good person and I have people who love me. But what are you? What a lovely story. Oh, hang on. There's something else in the box here. I wonder what this is. I wonder who this is a picture of. I think the hardest thing for me, growing up as an adopted child, was the constant wondering where and when, which drove me wild. When was I born? Who do I look like? Do I have dad's eyes? What about mum's brains? Dad's temper? Mum's determination? Was I a morning baby? Does that make me a Virgo or an Aries? What about this flat nose? Where did that come from?
So you know the drill by now. Click on the link on the description box below, open it to another browser, answer 3 questions, and I'll see you in the next 2 minutes.
It's the end of summer, and I ain't got someone under my covers. So I pull you aside, wing and cut you cause we're feeling the vibe. A few months later, I'm with you. I know it's kinda late, but I'm trying to roll through. And I know you're in the slumber, so I can't get through to your number. It's 2 in the morning, I'm coming over, scared you fall asleep, so I'll call you. Not responding, but I'm waiting on your avenue. It's 2 in the morning and I'm calling you. 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Whoa, I said it's 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Oh, I've been fussing, I've been fighting, but it's you that I'm really liking, yeah. 2 in the morning, I've been calling you. Oh, love for Kabbalah, but in this Kabbalah, Pala the Kada, send to the Kubela, Dengala Velitum Benila, Ole Mukala. Mukabala, Sukabala, Layla, Layla. If you send me the location, and I'll be right there. Come and check you, my baby. No time, no. And my dog is in probation. Another 5 years. Bring boys to a location. No time, no. Hello.
Amazing stuff. Now we're on to our very last segment of the festival called Club Malam, which means nightclub in the Malay language. Now Club Malam or nightclub is part of the festival where I get to group an artist together and force them to collaborate on something new. Now, on normal circumstances, these artists will be able to meet with one another, to be on a physical space, to collaborate and brainstorm ideas. But this time, the whole challenge is to work remotely. So I've grouped 3 different artists to come together to produce a spoken word performance and new sounds that best represent themselves during this pandemic. And before each presentation, you'll hear a little bit from the artist talking about the experience, reflection during this whole process. First up, we have Nush, Nazrin Mohammed, and Troy Kabida with their spoken word collaboration.
Hi, my name is Troy Kabida. I am a poet, I'm a producer, I'm a library assistant, and I am a university student.
Hey, my name is Nazrin. I am a poet / programmer / human being / master student.
Hi guys, I'm Nush. I'm a musician, producer, and spoken word artist from Northwest London.
Cool. So, in terms of the whole collaboration project for this festival, how did you guys find it? How did you guys find writing a poem and recording it and the whole thing?
I just really liked that I got free therapy, because writing this poem was basically free therapy given the current situation. And yeah, and especially writing together as well, like us seeing each other in a way, like when we were rehearsing, that was also like free group therapy, even though you know, like it was unknowingly so. But honestly, that's the main bit, and I'm really grateful to have been able to do this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like the fact that we all wrote separately and then came together, had matching themes, like water, like time, even though we hadn't actually revealed to each other what we had written until it was written. And it like flowed really nicely, like in between the three of us, which is really cool.
It was really cool because I remember when Nazreen started drafting an idea as to how to conceptualize the whole thing, he asked us to write a poem in response to a specific word that we were, I guess, vibing with. And I would remember reading the words and thinking, okay, I wonder how this is going to vibe together. But then when we read it all together, I was like, oh, there's a connection between each ending in the beginning, so it was perfect. And I really remember the magic of poetry because we've never met physically, but we always speak on WhatsApp and an email and on Zoom. And there was this instant synchronicity, which I'm very glad for. And I'm glad that Nazreen said something about it being very therapeutic because it kind of was for me as well.
Definitely.
Because, yeah.
I think
very fun.
Like what we create in terms of art is a form of therapy for sure. Because it's very cathartic, which is something I think we all need right now, especially in the current situation. The fact that this has to be online as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the people watching it will feel the same way. If they don't, at least 3 of us do.
I hope everyone enjoys it.
This is true. Yes. We hope that you enjoy it.
So yes, this is signing off, and I hope you guys enjoy our performance.
What a year to be alive and kicking. I'm an international student here in London. I was meant to spend the whole 3 terms in uni, but that became only 2 because the 3rd one was spent up in the air. No, I spent it just in my room. No, I spent it being trapped in my head. No, I spent it in shambles, asking questions I had no answers to, following lines that turn into nothing. I need to get a grip on this thing before I slip and turn into a blip to take my last sip of the drink and just fade into nothing. Nothing became what I was feeling. Nothing came out of what I was feeling. Rolling stones gather no moss, but when that stone stops, stillness becomes the boss. I wish I could claim certainty like in Western philosophy, but I'm just trying to be one with tranquility like in Taoist scriptures. Tatkala ribut sudah reda, aku berdiri dikelilingi tanda tanya. Apa fungsi kewujudan? Apa harus kukerjakan? Dengan nafas yang masih terkandung sebelum malaikat maut melaung. I'm stuck in the middle of Shibuya, when I really just want to be back on Sri Lanka, be the wanderer above the sea of fog. Because even if everything isn't clear, at least I know I'm up high. And at great altitudes, I think it'll be easier to ask myself questions that start with why. Like, why am I trying to be someone when I already know how to be me? Or, why am I searching for love when I already have people who love me? Or, why am I chasing after things when I already have everything I truly need? Or, why do I keep trying to fill the gaps in the world but not the ones within me? Back to the real world.
As in eyes fighting to stay open, as in therapy in the form of gold jewelry, as in stuck on one type, as in usually men with bad vibes, as in wobbly vibes, as in having to compromise with wobbly vibes, as in having to play with the devil's advocate, as in why is fighting for lives to be lived a political discourse, as in a straight guy pretending to be nice to you so your female friends will think he's different, as in his eyes willing to call you a faggot when no one's looking, as in Wonder Woman 1984 still hasn't released in theaters, as in the tenderness around Knuckles incessantly scrubbing a white wall, as in a white wall, as in a barricade, as in a white person sees mask, as in a white person dropping manners after seeing Asian underneath mask, as in Wonder Woman 1984 still hasn't released in theaters, as in clumped neon sand inside a snazzy phone case, as in an untouched reading list, and as in the swelling intimacy between you and the leave meeting button, as in firming a random conversation with an equally random tita on the 328, as in discovering the non-medical benefits of wearing a mask, as in a cloud over the head, as in Wonder Woman 1984 still hasn't released in theaters, as in rolling your eyes more times than you can count, as in resigning to silence, as in laughing along, as in exhales that try to do something.
A single raindrop falls, masked by the cascading of the storm, headed on a solitary path, but I follow it from the window to the ground. The downpour is ironically a fleeting moment of calm, silencing the gears that are overworking in my head. And I'm isolated and yet uncertain, overwhelmed but understimulated, a never-ending abyss of solitude, forever freedomlessly falling, just shackled by the fear of impending death. And I know we're united by this common enemy, alone but together, navigating through the time that slips through our hands. Time is ever-changing as the storm itself. Shocks of lightning expose my thoughts. Rumbling thunder pierce through my doubts. And grey skies, they cloud my eyes, but I know those will roll by. Hope for brighter days, for a soft rippling haze, for I wish to be freed. I wish to be released from this moment, to feel less alone, so I don't have to wait for a text or a Snapchat or a message on my phone, and to no longer exchange those emotions, to have a friendly embrace. So many thoughts, so many dreams lingering in the realm of maybe, just waiting to be chased. But much like that trickle of water, the thoughts, the fantasy, they drip and fall into the sea, swept into the like-minded minds of souls, forever wondering, hoping for the chance to be a reality, lost in the infinite pool of time.
My name is Troy. I'm a poet, I'm a producer, I'm a library assistant, and I'm a university student.
Who wants to go next?
And I'm Nazrin. I'm a poet / human being / programmer.
So we've come to our last presentation of the festival, and it's making me a little bit emotional. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the artists featured in RUMAHfest Online. Thank you so much for taking this plunge with me. Thank you for making it so easy. Thank you for making this uncomfortable, uneasy way of working comfortable for yourself. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to Rich Mix, Josh McNaughton and Natasha for always being there to support RUMAH and whatever RUMAH does. Thank you to Ignite Fund, Emily and Oscar. Thank you to all the crowdfunders who donated to our crowdfunding campaign last March. Thank you to Arts Council England. You have funded one of my very first solo project in London, and this has been really, really special. Thank you to the Society for Theatre Research COVID-19 Support Grant, and thank you to Metroland Cultures Fund. And of course, last but not least, a big thank you to you. You who are watching right now, you who decide to spend your Saturday evening with all of us. Thank you. Before I go, I have one last thing to present to you, my Sonic Sound collaborators. Take care, everyone.
Hi, my name is Gang.
Hiya, my name is Arya.
Hi there, my name is Adib Abdul Razak, aka Young Sultan.
My segment of the piece is called Suicide Seal. It literally means that land far away in the past. They are a collection of sound recordings I made when I realised that my time in Vietnam was nearing its end and I was moving here to the UK, so I wanted to capture intimate moments with family, friends, and also myself. I think over the last few months, not just myself, but quite a lot of people I've been speaking to, and I'm sure you as well, have been thinking about home, community, and physical and geographical space, and what it means today in our new world. I think we Asian creatives have very specific conditions that we have to think about. We have to rethink and reimagine how we work, play, collaborate. Even the process of going home has now changed as well, because flights are less frequent, they're not as cheap anymore. So there are things about home or the homeland which are more urgent for us.
And for RUMAHfest, I made a mix of 2 records, an Indonesian disco record and a more traditional droney ambient stuff, and added in as well snippets from Adib's work, who we collaborated with for this project, alongside Huang as well, Fambino. So shout out to those guys.
Fortunately, we haven't been able to meet. It's been, I think, not working in an intimate or physical space, you lose a lot of the messiness.
Working remotely, first of all, has been a bit tough, you know, especially with art. I always find that working in person and collaborating with other people is so much easier. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of in the moment kind of ideas that can be pushed around and worked with, but to be honest, working with the other guys, like, I felt very comfortable. We took it at a very good pace and kind of worked around each other's abilities, and, you know, kind of gave each other a helping hand where we could. And yeah, I really enjoyed kind of working on this project, on this collaboration, exploring the different kind of elements and different sounds. Like, me personally, kind of trying to understand how being in lockdown and with a lot of things going on in the world, like how it is to create art and how the world around us kind of affects that art as well, was very interesting. And I think it created something wonderful.
This has given us ideas to think about. So we've thought about all the things that I've mentioned before, but we also wanted to talk about themes of languages and the challenges of working remotely as well, and not being able to see each other. And I think that's come through in our sonic collaboration. So I'm really happy with how things have come together. As you hear, Arya's pieces are a very dark and eerie piece that has depicted a dystopian club space.
It's kind of a summary of how I'm feeling towards going out and partying and disco music, you know, during lockdown. So yeah. And
you've got Adib's, who has written a beautiful song which is very reflective and contemplative. So I'm really glad we're working with these. I'm really glad to be working with these two. So I hope you enjoyed today's piece and the RUMAHfest overall, and hopefully we'll get to meet each other in real life soon. Thank you.
Peace out.
Yeah.
bà buồn cười. Bây giờ trẻ con cũng thế. Lúc đấy thì bà bận đi làm.
Lúc nãy bác Ngọc là bao nhiêu tuổi hả? Bác Ngọc
Bây giờ mới học cấp 2 hay là cấp 1 thì thôi. Là vì chạy sơ tán về mà. Sơ tán hồi
72 à?
Đấy về Mỹ nó đánh ra Hà Nội Hải Phòng đấy. Thế là chạy về đây học. Bác Hiền thì học 2 năm, còn bác Ngọc thì học 1 năm. Không, cái xã Ngọc Thờ.
Trông như thế nào? Ở Hà Nội khi Tết sắp đến, đường phố và chợ búa trở nên nhộn nhịp, đẹp như tranh vẽ. Hoa, cây cảnh, tranh dân gian được bày bán khắp nơi tại chợ hoa hàng lược. Có thể mua thủy tiên, quất quả đỏ, hải đường nụ hồng, nụ trắng. Dọc phố hàng bộ, các cụ đồ dâu bạc phơ, bán hoành phi, câu đối, viết trên giấy điều ngợi ca năm mới, mùa xuân và niềm vui của cuộc sống gia đình. Tranh dân gian có màu sắc tươi sáng, rất thân quen với trẻ con em, mô tả cuộc sống hàng ngày. Đó thường là tranh vẽ động vật đơn giản, ngây thơ như thầy đồ cóc, đám cưới chuột. Những bức tranh này kể chuyện sử thi, lấy từ chuyện lịch sử dân tộc hoặc các trích trong đoạn truyện dân gian như cuộc đấu tranh của chị em Trưng Chắc, Trưng Nhị chống quân xâm lược phong kiến Trung Quốc, Thạch Xanh giết đại bàng cứu công chúa, Đinh Tiên Hoàng cưỡi rồng vượt sông, chuyện tình Như Lang chức nữ hay chuyện về con gái Ngọc Hoàng.
Xin đừng quên hơn đây. Xin đừng quên hơn là say exercise, là good exercise. I want that really one. I think I've got it. Oh, sorry.
ഖുറാനെ പറ്റി നമ്മൾ തീരെ ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് പോലും നമ്മൾ അതിനെ പറ്റി ചിന്തിക്കുന്നില്ലാലും ഉണ്ടോ? യു ഡൂയിങ് ദാറ്റ്? ഞാൻ ഐ ആം നോട്ട് ഗിവിങ് എ ലെസൺ ഒന്നും ക്ലാസ് ഒന്നും എടുക്കില്ല. ഒന്നൊന്ന് റിമൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. I know it's your life. You have a
drinks deep, packing up bars, can't be celebrating, yeah. Blaming all the immigrants, blaming all the immigrants. Shit ain't even ended yet, and everybody already 3 drinks deep, packing out the parks, can't be celebrating, blaming all the immigrants.